All right, so it is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I thought that this would be a really great time to talk about how having mental illness can impact people in their daily life, how it can impact being a parent or being a child, because I've been both of those things, and what you can do for people who are struggling. So, let's start by going over my diagnoses so you understand the perspective I'm coming from. I am, well, there's a new term now, the ADHD, where you are diagnosed autistic, comorbid with ADHD. I am also a type 1 bipolar with quite severe anxiety and OCD tendencies. So I struggled a lot. Are you dancing?
Yeah.
Can you start putting your laundry away?
Yeah.
I struggled a lot when I was younger, especially before I had an appropriate balance of medication and the correct support. And that led to a lot of problems for me. I was struggling with really severe bipolar episodes and difficulty with managing my anxiety and suicidal ideation. I self-harmed for many, many years, and there was a time in my life where I did not think I was going to make it. I was pretty sure that my obituary was going to happen and tell people that I just couldn't do it. And so first I want to talk about suicidal ideation. I know that that can be a trigger for some people, which is completely understandable, but it's also really important to talk about and understand, because I think that a big part in my difficulty was that people didn't understand what it meant for me to have suicidal ideation. One of the things I heard very often was, oh, but you have this and this and this. You have no reason to be suicidal. That is not helpful. In fact, it actually made my ideation worse, because I felt like I was being told, because I have all of these beautiful things in life, that I am wrong for feeling the way I feel and struggling the way I struggled. Now, the big thing about ideation, it is not controllable. It is not one of those things that someone just decides, I'm going to feel this way, or that for most people who struggle, what's going on in their personal life has only a small part to do with those issues. That is how mental illness works. It's an illness like everything else. If you have pancreatitis, nobody's going to come to you and be like, oh, it's just because you are struggling, or you shouldn't have pancreatitis because your life is good. But people say that a lot when you struggle with ideation. Don't do that to the people you love. Listen, care, be kind, understand that it is not a controllable experience.
This one is not a good song. Look at the word.
Oh, let me turn it around. It's inside out. That is the best that you can do for the people you care for, is to listen to them and give them kindness. The other thing is, with autism really being prominent in our current societal conversations, I think it's really important to address how autism can impact people, because right now we do not have a society that is autism friendly. If you are neurodivergent, you don't fit. You don't fit in. The world is not accommodating for you. And especially when people act like autism is something you can catch, it's a disease, it's an illness, and it makes you less than. I feel like that also makes it so much harder for us as a society to learn to accommodate for people who are on the spectrum and are capable of so many amazing things. That's the thing. I struggle sometimes with holding a job or friendships, because, yeah, I do miss some social cues. Sometimes I have too much to say, sometimes not enough. Sometimes I ramble. Sometimes I share way more than is appropriate with my friends or coworkers. But the thing is that doesn't make me less valuable. What that trade-off was that I have a very high intellect. I absorb information very well, despite also being ADHD. I love to learn, and I do a really good job with it. And if I have a set of rules that I can follow, I do great. I do. Unfortunately, society just is not accommodating for that. And the thing is, my wonderful son is also on the spectrum. And I am scared of him struggling the way that I struggled with friendships or peer relationships, jobs. And he's not autistic because he got vaccinated. He's autistic because his mom is autistic. And there is a genetic component to autism. So when we are talking about somebody's mental health, when we are looking at the fact that, all of this is so prominent in news and society right now, it's such a frequent conversation. I really think that a little bit more grace needs to be given for the fact that people who are neurodivergent, whatever that divergence is, if it's autism, ADHD, OCD, anything else, we need to stop viewing these people as broken and just start seeing them as different. Depending where people are on the spectrum, they can be amazingly productive. My son struggles with reading, but he just turned 6 years old and he is a math whiz. He does so well with mathematics. He could tell you any fact that you would ever want to know about a dinosaur. He knows them all. He will correct me when I get it wrong. Does that mean that he's going to be great at everything? No, he's going to struggle. But his struggles are just going to be different. They're going to be different than those of his peers, but that doesn't make them any less valid or worth talking about and working on as a community. I think that he's going to be capable of so many things. I think that I am capable of so many things, but people have to be willing to give you a chance. When I interview for jobs, I tell them that I'm on the spectrum, and I am pretty sure that sometimes that does lead to me not getting a job. It makes people uncomfortable. But at the same point, if I don't tell you that I'm on the spectrum and that I do better with more direct communication, how are you to know? That is part of a good peer management relationship, being able to create open communication that works in your communication style. But because we have created such a stigma around neurodivergence, that leads to loss of opportunities that I could really thrive in. And I don't want that for my son. So for Mental Health Awareness Month, let's take a moment and think about how we can help to support the people around us and what they need in order to be effective communicators and in order to be effective in society. And remember that mental illness is not controllable, mental health is not controllable, and neurodivergence is not a disease. We're just different. And that difference is a beautiful thing.
Mommy.
Yes, baby.
Please, can you get off my pillow?
Yes, you can have your pillow.
Because I want to set my bed back up.
Oh, okay. All right. Do you have anything you want to say about how cool you are?
Super cool.
And please start voting in a way that supports people We do not need people at the top of government who are going to put us on a registry
Ma,
like we are spreading illness and disease.
love you.
As he said, love you guys, make good choices, and be kind.